And it will be dealt with amply there from Williams. Williams, of course, one of our national goalkeepers. She'll be looking to keep her net nice and clean today. She's managed to get herself a handy 5 clean sheets, and if she can make it 6 in this encounter, I think she'll be a really, really happy Banyana lady today. But, of course, TUT won't want any of that, as you can see now, trying to get forward, using a little bit of speed, but that's a really good clearance, making sure Mutlagelwa doesn't manage to get in behind there. Really dangerous striker is Mutlagelwa. She's managed to score herself 8 goals in this competition so far, all from open play, and we can see exactly why. She's got the speed, she's got the venom, and TUT now just starting to find some momentum. Keeping the ball on feet quite nicely here as Nkambule gets ball forward. Across field, but it's well cleared here from TUT, and we can see the studs raised high in the air. And ball will be given to the home side. Dangerous play is the call there from the referee, as Williams lines it up. She's got a big boot on her, Williams, deciding this time to keep it nice and short. Just having a look. Lovely 1-2 there. Unfortunately not managing to find its target. As now they've got the opportunity just to knock the ball around. Big pressure being applied here from the Cape Town base side. And they do well to win it back. They do UCT. Knocking it about nicely in the middle of the park. There's a player down for TUT on the far side. And we'll go back and have a look at what's happened there on the far side as the medics make their way onto the field. UCT have had the better of the first 3.5 minutes in this game. And they won't want to let go of any of this momentum. It's working well for them at the moment. They don't want strikers like Sinyatsi as well as Mutlagelwa getting in behind their defenses. They've done so well. Between the two of them, the number 9 and number 11, they've managed to score 17 of TUT's 29 goals as we get things right back underway. Nkambule that time making a mistake on the left-hand side, and will UCT be able to punish her for her sins? But they do well to clear their lines, and they just get a little bit of composure back underway, but the away side look like they're struggling a little bit here. As ball goes all the way back to Nina Vorman. She's in the side today, the number 10. Of course, Coach Parker using her to strengthen up that back line. As I mentioned earlier, they've conceded in excess of 31 goals in the season. There's space here on the side foot, but just not managing to keep it down. And another shot here for UCT. Unfortunately, just going a-begging. But TUT will be really worried about this onslaught at the moment. As Sitole gets the ball out. Into the backs they go, and just trying to keep it on the feet. Unsuccessful there. Trying to play ball out on the right-hand side. Lovely ball, threaded in behind. Uses her body and nothing to it, says the referee. But really scary times here for TUT, who are under the pump at the moment, and UCT aren't going to stop there. Good clearance. Manages to find a foot. Lovely 1-2 as TUT trying to get forward. Those two strikers in Sinyati as well as Mutlagelwa will be looking to get onto the ball and try and beat the UCT defenders. Advantage, says the referee. Advantage played, advantage over, and now UCT in a dangerous position here. Lovely touch, tries the pass, doesn't quite manage it to execute it. Going forward now is the skipper, isn't Duane. In behind, is there trouble here? But Jessica Williams makes herself big, gets up to the ball as quickly as possible. And slows play down. They're the happier of the two sides at the moment, I'll tell you that, UCT. As Williams thumps it upfield. It will come right back at UCT here. All the way back up to goalkeeper Williams. And you can see here, TUT just happy to sit back at the moment, as Klesi has to do some hard work up front there. Trying to keep the ball on the left-hand side of the park is the TUT striker. And look at the speed on the left there. That's what they want to try and do. They want to get ball in behind the defenders as much as possible, do UCT. As now, just trying to find the 1-2s at the moment. Not quite successful. UCT have had a majority of the possession. Can they use it? Of course, possession, just a stat if you aren't able to get the goals to go with it. And it's going to be a game of patience now for both of these two sides as they look for a way to get onto the scoreboard. It's going to be all about patience as that time round ball goes into Nkambule, who decides to go back onto the boot. Studs in the air, well controlled though, as Mutlogelwa. She hasn't had too much of the ball as the left forward, the number 9. This might be an opportunity now as TUT get on to the end of it. Lovely touch. That's what we like to see from the ladies in red. Just allowing the ball to do the talking. Moving it around really nicely at the moment. But unfortunately, commentators' curse coming into play that time as they give ball away and give UCT an opportunity to go forward. But they're just not finding the passes at the moment, or the ladies in white. As they try, get in behind. That's a lovely ball now. Into a good position. In the box it goes. Having a look for Klesi. Unfortunately, doesn't quite manage to find her. And Kanya Klesi getting herself into a really good position. But unfortunately, the ball not managing it to fall onto the grace of her head. And that was a good opportunity. The first real opportunity for TUT. Just not managing it to go where it needed to. But they're not done yet. They'll try again here. All the ladies in red does well to keep that one in, doesn't Nkambule. Up it goes. Vorman brings it down. That's a really good charge. And now there's an opportunity. Inside the box. Uses her strength really well, does Vorman. But they're not done yet. They need to get the ball back into a dangerous area. UCT now in a good position. There's a run down the right-hand side. The shot is on. And Satola managing to keep that one outside of the goals. And you can't be caught napping here against this UCT side. They really do well on the counter-attack. They've got speed. They've got vision to get in behind defenders. And the last thing you want to do is give them a chance, because they will do everything they can to make you pay. Out onto the left now, Fundo. Estondo now, the defender, number 15 on the ball. Just asking her charges to find a little bit of space. That one just didn't have the venom on it to make its way out to what looks like Mutlagelwa. As UCT putting together a couple of passes. Out onto the right-hand side now. It's lovely skills there at the back from Jafta, who wiggles her way out of a situation, and there's an opportunity now into the box. Now an opportunity, doesn't quite manage to get it out from underneath her feet, but she was in an offside position. And TUT counting their blessings at the moment. They really have been caught wanting. as Ndo. Trying to clear their lines here at the moment. You can see the frustration and Ndao at the back. Having some words with Sithole. Clearly not agreeing on something here. They're under pressure at the moment on the side that find themselves fourth on the table. And they need a victory here. They've got the opportunity to go up to third, but there's a couple of teams on their tail as they need a big clearance here and a little bit of trouble. Back into danger it goes. Cuts onto the inside, but lovely rush defense are coming that time round from TUT. But they're not out of the woods yet. Lovely work. Just managing to turn back onto the inside. Back now with UCT. That's in space. Is there an opportunity? It's a brilliant save there from the goalkeeper, Sithole. The defenders were waiting for the offside flag. It never came. And Sithole staying nice and sharp, made herself big, went down to ground and managed to get a really important boot onto the end of that one. UCT might have just thought that they were in with a chance that time round, but TUT keeping the clean sheet through their goalkeeper, Tando Sithole, the number 20. Absolutely brilliant. Some real excitement there from the ladies from Cape Town. Unfortunately, not managing to put it into the back of the net. Well, as the game slows down, we've had our fair share of excitement. UCT have definitely had the better of the chances in this game. But it means nothing if you can't put it into the back of the net, of course. What can they do here? Can they use this momentum? They've got such good go-forward momentum at the moment. While UCT playing a 3-4-3 formation at the moment. And TUT playing that infamous 4-3-3. A formation we're seeing being played so much more often in the modern game. Lovely touch. Just trying to get in behind the defenses now, and it will be a foot race, but the foot race will be won at the back there by UCT. Trying to create some real problems here. And that one just making its way out, says the assistant referee on this near side. Zinkambule tries to find her partner. Unsuccessful, unfortunately, that time round. And it looks like Mutlogelwa there, who lost the physical battle. They go up. Possession now with TUT and just kicks that one away, does Captain Duane. Not sure if she thought that Klesi was probably up front there, or if she just was unaware of the situation. Was it the skipper Sibongile Duane? But nonetheless, back underway we get. Looking for the opening goal of the game. Still plenty of football to be played. 30 minutes left in this half. As TUT look to go forward. It's a good touch. Lovely strength in the middle of the park. Borman tries to get it out wide. That's a lovely ball, but just a little bit too high at the top. And just trying to find in the midfield there. It looks like Alvina in the middle of the park there. Keeps it in, looking for the foul. They don't get it. Up in the air. Brings it down nicely. Allows Ndua. Lovely 1-2s on the right-hand side, but just running out of space. Here in the first half of the Hollywoodbets Super League. Of course, the premier competition for women's football in the country. Just trying to find a little bit of space in behind the defensive lines. What can they do now? TUT in a good position. Trying to put some passes together as Nkambule. Tries and dinks one over the top. Unsuccessfully so. And now it gives UCT an opportunity to go forward. They've got numbers. They wanted the ball to do the talking there. They might have been better off trying to attack the space. As TUT putting some passes together. It's stylish stuff at the moment. Really classy, but they can't seem to get themselves further up the field. Good touch. Gets go forward ball, and this is a tricky situation now. No foul, says the referee, and that's exactly the kind of situation UCT would have wanted. They had a little bit of space. It looked like they were going to be able to attack the space. But unfortunately just got stopped in her tracks that time round. Trying to find a way forward. Trying to find a way into the final third of the opposition's defensive lines. Both of these sides struggling at the moment. They've had their fair share of opportunities. But neither of these two sides have been able to make use of them. It's going to be important for both of these sides to try their best to get the first goal of the game. Get rid of any nerves that might be creeping into this game. And just allow themselves to play fluid football here. But of course, it's a lot easier said than done. As now, this is a good opportunity now for UCT. Numbers in the box. It's a lovely ball. It's a tasty ball, but well defended there from TUT. Managing to get up nice and high. Gets ahead onto that one and clears her lines. But they're not out of the woods yet. Still an opportunity now to go forward here for UCT. Into the box, tries the flick on. Gets rid of the danger. Vorman puts it onto the boot. It's brought down nicely. UCT at the moment, you'd swear that they're top of the table side the way they're playing in this encounter today. They really have come out nicely. And I'll tell you what, they might just feel that they've got the confidence to get onto the scoreboard. There's a confirmation of the score. 0-0 is the score at the moment in this first half. Still plenty of football to be played here in the Hollywoodbets Super League. This encounter between UCT and TUT here at the KOPANO ASTRO has been even Stevens at the moment as TUT trying to get forward. Jessica Williams, who's had a quietish game here, picks it up, distributes into the middle of the park. And just looking for options there, finds an option on the left. Tries the first time, ball into the middle of the park, but unfortunately wasn't successful that time round. It's lovely skills, but just runs out of space on the far side. Well, it's been good so far from both of these two sides. They've looked defensively sound. They've looked like they've got the ability to go forward and score goals. More so, UCT. But TUT at the moment, as we know, they're sitting pretty at fourth on the table. And they're there for a reason. They got two strikers in Mutlakhelwa as well as Senyadzi. We've scored 17 goals between the two of them in this competition. And they can really be a threat once they get going. But they just haven't had the opportunity to get going in this game yet. Good skills. A little bit bunched up at the moment. Tries to kick her way out of trouble. And another free kick goes in the direction of UCT. We saw the first ball was really good into the box. It called the defense of TUT into action. Into the box it goes. It's a really good ball. Managing to get up to the task there. They need to be careful. There's a second opportunity here. It gets up high. It's a little bit loose at the moment. Up goes the boot of the UCT striker. And a foul called there by the referee. And once again, TUT come out of that situation unscathed. But they've had to defend well in this game. More than happy to keep ball on foot at the moment are the ladies in red. And they just need to stay patient here, UCT. They've had the better of the opportunities, but just haven't managed to get it past Thando Sithole, who's had to make 1 or 2 saves already in this game, and she'll be more than happy to make a couple more as her side looks to maintain a clean sheet and possibly take 3 points out of this game. Lovely ball out wide by Njolo. Keeping it on the feet at the moment. Passing it around really nicely, but just unable to go forward. And as I say, that lovely little skill there, unfortunately, wasn't quite executed. And you can just see at the moment, they're knocking the ball around nicely at TUT, but just not able to get that go-forward ball that they're looking for. As Ndao can see her shouting at her players, looking for the space, asking players to come into the right spaces. Ndao. Nkambule, lovely, finds Mutlagelwa. She seems to go down, but they'll keep playing now as Ndao gets a lovely ball into the box, keeps it alive, and good go forward here. That's exactly what they needed. Ndao, who's been commanding the troops at the moment, asking them to get into the right spaces, is exactly what was needed. You can see there, Tsogofatso Mutlagelwa there gets to her feet, and she's going to have a shot on goal. Just goes out wide. Not sure if it was a pop and goal or if she was looking for somebody on that far post, but nonetheless, all of a sudden, TUT have managed to find their go-forward boots. And they're doing well here to get into a good position as much as possible. Williams. Tearing down the right flank now. An opportunity here for UCT. They've looked good at UCT, but they just haven't managed to go forward. That's a lovely turn. Putting it boot to boot, trying to find space on the far post. But Sithole makes herself big, comes out nice and strong. The two goalkeepers have really kept their sides in this game. They've looked unbeatable at the moment, more so Thando Sithole in the goals of the TUT net. Rampaging up the right-hand side of the field. That's more like it here from TUT. Getting some good go-forward ball. They're under the pump at a little bit at the back here. But still trying to control the game and get up front as much as possible. Committing numbers up front. They're not scared to do that as UCT. Try and catch them on the counter. There's plenty of space on the right-hand side, but deciding to get in behind the defense. It's a good ball, but unfortunately, the ball will win the race that time round. Ndao. Out to Sithole. This time round, managing to find her partner in crime at the back there. They'll be more than happy to try and keep a clean sheet in this game, of course. Now it's opportunity for Nkambule. Charging down, finds Mutlagelwa. Trying to take on Vorman. Doesn't quite manage to find the quality she wants, and now it's an opportunity for the count. It's helter-skelter stuff at the moment here on the KOPANO AstroTurf. As Nkambule knocks it around, finds Ndao. Lovely ball back to Nkambule. Uses her head to bring that one down. Lines it up to get a ball into the box. It's a tasty-looking ball. But Vorman up to the task. Captain Ndwane trying to create something there in the middle of the park. They just need that extra spark at the moment as Sithole once again making herself big. She attacks the space, makes it her own in that final third. And protecting the house is always there is Thando Sithole. Doing really well for her side. Yeah, I'll tell you what, if UCT don't manage to win this game, or at least get points out of it, Thando Sithole will be the hero. She's been really good for her side at the moment. Dominated that defensive third. As now Jafta uses her speed, but unfortunately she'll just run out of space. Looking to turn it. Unfortunately, only manages to find the UCT player. One so and no. Lovely skills, managing to get in behind the midfield and still in possession. Finds a lovely pass. The 1-2 is on now. Takes her chance. But Thando Sithole will deal with that one. Didn't quite manage to get enough boot onto the end of that. Lovely touch there from Nwanso Eno. Up the middle of the park. It's a foot race now. But it will be dealt with. Good, cool composure at the back there for UCT. TUT trying to play UCT's own game here. Trying to get it in behind the back of the defenses. But unfortunately, UCT, they've got the speed as well as the back. It's not just their forwards, their defenders are packing some real speed. Nina Vorman and Robin Kutsia holding the middle of the park. Genevieve Jafta as well as Bashira Ismail on the left-hand side. Trying to keep the clean sheet in this game. Not something that comes easy, keeping a clean sheet. Jessica Williams has only managed to keep 5 in her 23 games. As UCT going forward, using their speed as usual. There's plenty of space down this right-hand side. And have a look. Trying to go forward now as looks like Jafta. And that final ball into the box just wasn't quite the right ball. As TUT looking for options to get out of the back here. Just trying to create some space. Looks up. Doesn't manage to find too many red shirts. To deciding to play that long ball. Good strength in the middle of the park. Doing well once again there in Nkambule. Ndao. All the way back to Sithole. Just looking to control the game at the moment, the ladies in red. More than happy just to sit off here at the moment. Look for that long ball. Try and get over the top of the midfield. And they managed to retain possession on the far side. They'll be happy about that, will TUT. Trying to put together some passes, get the ball moving forward. Unfortunately, just isn't to be, as UCT clears it into a really dangerous space. They want to play outside of their danger zone here, UCT. It's driving forward once again. They've got numbers up front. They need to get the connections right and get forwards into a good position. Lovely skill, but hands all over the back of the defender. Well, 13 minutes left to play in this half. It's 0-0 as it stands here between UCT and TUT. Both of these sides have had their fair share of opportunities at goal, but just not quite managing to find the back of the net. Tando Sitole, the number 24 TUT, has been brilliant as it stands. Jessica Williams hasn't had too much to do as the national goalkeeper, but still plenty of football to be played in this encounter. And of course, you can't write either of these two sides off at the moment. Both of them with the ability to score goals. Vorman wiggles her way out of trouble that time round. Just looking for spaces out on the left-hand side. Nothing there. It's going to be a matter of which side can stay most patient. And of course, which side can take their opportunity. Just trying to put the passes together at the moment. TUT under the pump once again here. That's a lovely ball out onto the left-hand side for Nwansoweno, who takes a shot! Oh, yes! Have a look at that for a goal. She's been putting TUT under pressure for the whole morning. And that time round, she manages to put it into the back of the net. It's Alvina Nwansoweno who gets onto the edge of the box. And Tando Sitole has been so brilliant in this game. But unfortunately, there was absolutely nothing she could do about that one. It's a brilliant strike there from a Nwansoweno. Brilliant. Just brilliant. They've had a majority of the possession. They've had the better of the chances. Have UCT. And like I said, possession is just a stat if you can't put goals behind it. But that's exactly what they've managed to do. They needed some individual brilliance. And that's exactly what Alvina Nwansoweno brought to the party. And now it's a matter of, can UCT keep this lead for as long as possible and possibly even extend it? Jessica Williams hasn't had too much to do, and she'll be happy to keep it that way in this game. Tando Sitole, who's been all over the park, she's made herself big. She's got some good saves. Unfortunately, just couldn't stop that one going into the back of the net from Alvina Nwansoweno. UCT now, they'll be concentrating on extending this lead, making sure that they don't concede. They back in possession. Lovely shots, and all of a sudden, UCT have really started to come to the party here on KOPANO. This is a brilliant strike there. This is really good, putting TUT under considerable pressure. Ball into the box, onto the far post, gets a head onto it. Appeal for handball, nothing to it, says the referee. Vorman can't believe it. She's going to have to. She's in an offside position at the moment. And there's the goal scorer, Nwanso, who did so well to get that right boot onto the end of that one and beat Thando Sithole. But now it's an opportunity. TUT driving forward through Klesi into the box and just looking for a TUT foot. But unable to find a red shirt that time round. Absolutely brilliant work at the moment. And it's up to UCT now to make sure that they defend this lead. But whilst doing that, they have to make sure that they don't lose it either. They need to be attack-minded whilst being defense-minded. There's the goal scorer, unable to get on to the end of that one. And down goes Thando Sithole on the right-hand side. You can just see the referee making his way over to make sure that the goalkeeper's all right. Well, you can catch us on YouTube. You can also catch us on SAFA TV. And there's some live comments going through on YouTube at the moment. Ray saying Esther Ndo needs to come to Banyana. She's been fantastic already in this game, has Esther Ndo, the number 15 for TUT. She's controlled the game. She's allowed them to go forward really nicely. As some treatment just being received on the far side. Trek saying true, but I still feel we need more strikers for Banyana. Of course, Banyana doing so well at the moment. Jessica Williams, part of that setup in goals at the moment, the number 1 for UCT. Of course, there's some quality strikers on the field here at the moment. Number 9 for TUT, Tsogofatso Mutlagelwa. She's managed to score herself 8 goals in this competition. The number 11, Senyetsi, who scored 9 goals in the competition, sitting third on the top goal scorers at the moment. And of course, Kanya Klesi, the number 33, holding the middle of that forward pack. And on the other side, Aaliyah Jacobs, number 14, as well as Nabila Khalant. And of course, who's going to forget that strike from Alvina Nwanso? An absolutely brilliant strike. So Banyana in good hands at the moment from a forwards point of view, as well as with the backs. Lovely touch. Just trying to get the ball forward at the moment. While TUT need to fight their way back into this game. 1-0 is the score as it stands. UCT through that strike of Alvina Nwanso managing to beat Thando Sithole, who looked absolutely unbeatable at the moment. But it took some individual brilliance. It took some excellence to get it past the number 20 of TUT. He's only managed to hold the 1 clean sheet in her 17 matches so far. She won't be adding to that tally today. Let's ball up into the air, into the box, and Thando Sithole being called into action once again. But you'll deal with it really easily. Got supporters from TUT as well as supporters from UCT on the YouTube chat at the moment. Support your sides as much as possible. Get onto the chats, give us a comment, tell us what you think about the game. And we can shout you out right here on YouTube as well as TUT. Once again, just trying to defend their box. It's good strength being shown at the back there. And now a little bit of space now for Nkambule. Managing to get a ball upfield to Mutlogelwa. Back to Ndao. You can just see controlling traffic is the number 15 at the moment, Ndao. Making sure everybody knows where they're supposed to be. Making sure that the spaces on the park are available. Now finds Nkambule. Drives forward. It's a good ball there to Mutlogelwa. Into the box. Can she create some trouble? She's got some strikers to get the ball up to. Unfortunately, just not managing to find space, and UCT doing so well to defend this time round. Nkambule. Back to Ndao. They pass the ball around really nicely to TUT. They need to try and get it into a dangerous area for their strikers to get onto the end of it. This is good. The cross goes across, but just onto the side of the net. So far, so good. And you can just see now UCT just starting to slow things right down. They want to play at their pace. They're going to be the happier of the two sides going into the halftime break. As Jessica Williams just gets her shoelace tied. The chat on YouTube at the moment still talking about promising forwards. As we get things back underway here. Can TUT equalize going into the halftime break? Or will it be UCT, the stronger of the two sides at the moment? This is a good charge in the middle of the field by Nkadimeng. And unfortunately, Nkadimeng just not managing to test the goalkeeper that time round. Vorman makes herself big, gets in the way of it, and managing to win the goal kick. Up to the halfway line it goes, and just an opportunity. One last opportunity is all TUT need to try and equalize proceedings. Now gets it back to Sitole. Just looking for space at the moment here. Not quite able to find it. 10 seconds left of official time in this half. Can TUT equalize? Hasn't looked like it so far in this game. They've been the dominant of the two sides as UCT. They've been good in defense, good going forward. They've added some electricity into this game, and that strike by Alvina Nwanso-Ano. The only thing between these two sides at the moment. Good touch into the middle of the park, trying to find spaces. It's really good from UCT, but now the ball is back with TUT, trying to get it in behind. It's a little bit of a scramble. And we'll have ourselves a corner kick. One last opportunity for the travelling side to try and equalize proceedings in this game. They'll commit numbers forward here. In it goes, and just in behind. Unfortunately, the quality of the ball into the box just wasn't quite there. Jafta. They want to play the game inside the TUT half. Gets that one out to Nzingeli, who just gets tripped up from behind that time around. Of course, the Hollywoodbets Super League, the premier division of football in the country for the ladies. Number 4 plays number 8 right here on KOPANO ASTRO. It's match number 216 as we get closer and closer to the end of the season. TUT looking for a spot within the top 3 at the moment. UCT trying to stay in the top half of this league. Both these teams with plenty to fight for. As we end off proceedings here in the first half, 1-0 is the score. UCT, the home side, find themselves leading. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go too far away. We'll be taking a 15-minute breather, and then we'll be back for the Hollywoodbets Super League 2025. Back to the action here, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, it's the Hollywoodbets Super League, the premier division of football in the country for the ladies, as we get into our second half here between UCT up against TUT, and UCT against the odds at the moment. The side that sits 8th on the table at the moment find themselves 1-0 up against TUT, the strong TUT side that find themselves sitting at 4th in the moment. And is this the boost towards the end of the season that UCT needed? Of course, there's still plenty of football to be played in the next 45 minutes of action. The only goal coming from Alvina Nuaso-Ano. And now TUT early on in this game trying to get back onto the scoreboard. There'll be some harsh words that were heard in the change room by Coach Christina Kutumela to her troops. But can they find their way back into this game? Ahmed Parker, the coach for UCT, will be telling his troops, just stay in the game, stay attack-minded whilst having a defensive mindset. That's not the mistake that they would have wanted to make, as TUT trying to create some trouble here. It's Mutlagelwa once again. Creating trouble as she so often does Mutlagelwa. This is an opportunity now. Numbers up front. They've got 5 in the box. Dangerous ball in. Trying to keep it alive, and up into the air it goes, but Jessica Williams won't have to deal with that one this time round. So far, so good. Decent start to the second half by UCT, as Ismail on the left-hand side loses out. They'll have a free kick there. Just gets tripped up that time round as Senyatsi. They keep it nice and short, managing to find a bit of space, but just wasn't able to bring that one down, was Senyatsi. Takes it backwards that time round. Dangerous ball into the box. It's loose inside the box at the moment. Williams wasn't able to deal with that one. And in doing so, I think she may have taken one of her own players down as well in that motion. Poshoka there, the number 26 ball in hand at the moment. That was a really dangerous ball into a good area there from the right back. Just forcing Jessica Williams to come out and make the mistake that she ended up making in that occasion. And this could be a problem here for UCT. It will be interesting to see who the player that's gone to ground is, and whether the fresh legs will have to make their way onto the park as early as the 3rd minute of this half. As we get things back underway, looks like the skipper, Robin Kutsia, who's making a way around the outside of the field at the moment. They won't want to lose her, of course, the number 15, the leader of the side, the number 17 rather, if I'm not mistaken. They definitely won't want to be playing with 10 players at the moment, will UCT, as they look for some space now. Down this left-hand side, trying to keep the ball alive. They do well, still in possession as Ismail. Lovely 1-2s, trying to get it in behind as Aaliyah Jacobs gives chase to that one. Unfortunately, just wasn't quick enough. Ndwane. Lovely ball this. It's now a foot race to the ball. Just using her strength, and does really well to fend off Mutlagelwa that time round. It was a dangerous ball in behind the defences, but brilliantly stopped there. Good strength at the back there for UCT. As you can see, the referee just cautioning what looks like Talia Schmidt in the middle of the park. An accidental elbow there. I don't think there was any malice with that one. Referee was in a really good position to have a look at it. And it looks like Balisa Njolo that's gone to ground there as well. The midfielder just clutching her head. I think it will be a yellow card from what I can see here. The referee making his way over to the number 5, Talia Smith, and she finds her name in the book. She'll have to be careful now in the middle of the park. Yeah, just using, no real malice there, just using her elbows. Goes into the back of Balisa Njolo. And Njolo, she looks all right. It looks like she'll carry on with proceedings. Never a nice knock, getting the elbow to the back of the head. And we'll get things back underway here. It's been very stop-start the first 5 minutes of this second half. As Mohale plays that one out wide to Nkambule. Or it looks like Ndao rather. Nkambule are nice and wide on the left-hand side there. Doesn't quite manage to keep it in field. Up it goes, onto the head, outside of the field. And you can see the substitutes, top right-hand corner, starting to warm the legs up. They'll be looking to make some impact into this game, of course. I think our camera here just catching the ball warming up on the far side. We're back to the action here, however. Into the middle of the park. She's under some considerable pressure. It's a really good turnover. Lovely skills. Works her way out of a sticky situation. Trying to get in behind. It's a foot race, but Jessica Williams, the national goalkeeper, makes herself big, and she'll get up to the ball quicker than the defenders could. And 1-0 it stays here. TUT will be chasing this game. UCT, the happier of the two sides at the moment here on KOPANO. Lovely touch to find Njolo. Asking for the ball to go out wide to the left-hand side. There was a little bit of space there. Miscommunication here on this near side. Senyadzi just not able to get onto the end of that one. Boshoko decides to go backwards. Doesn't quite bring that one under control. There's a huge clattering on this near side. Free kick goes the way of TUT. They decide to take it nice and quickly. Good one too. Into the box it goes. Headed backwards, but Williams deals with that one nicely. Unfazed by the approaching defender. Good ball into the middle, brings it down really nicely. And now has the opportunity just to go forward. Unfortunately, just losing out to Captain Sibungi Lintwane. And they'll knock it around the back here. Mohale. Goes long. Doesn't quite manage to find a red shirt, but they retain possession. The foul goes against TUT that time around. Looks like it's gone against Mamocha Senyatse. Well, it looks like Captain Robert Kutsia back on the field. She's moving nicely. Just had that collision with her goalkeeper, Jessica Williams, a little bit earlier. But she seems like she's all right, ready to rock and roll once again. Williams. Cool, calm, and collected. Throws that one up to halfway. Creating a little bit of trouble for the TUT ladies here. Asitole. Out to Mohale. Mohale under a little bit of pressure. She's got to get rid of it. Only manages to find the UCT player. Helter-skelter at the moment in front of the goalkeeper. Keeps it in field nicely there. Lovely little touch into Njolo. Njolo having to fight her way out of trouble here. Manages to keep possession and wins the foul. Does really well to show her strength. Securing the ball, using her body. And we can see here another injury on the far side there. The referee just attending to it. This time around looks... We'll see who that is. For now, TUT playing with 10 players at the moment. You can see the substitutes warming up on the far side. Nice and short into the middle of the park. Carries well. Good go forward ball. Lovely 1-2. Huge collision, but still on the ball now, or UCT. They want to get it into a good position. Just unable to space on the left. Execution is so important in those high pressure situations. As now Sinyati looking to charge forward. Trying the 1-2, but unfortunately dispossessed. That's good defensive work there from UCT, who of course have the lead at the moment and want to keep that lead for as long as possible. Ismail. Into the middle of the park. Lovely turn. There's a little bit of space here for Galant to use. Jacobs trying to put some pressure. They've done well there, but turns out of that situation really well, doesn't Dow. Partners up with Mohale, who gets it into the middle of the field for Ndwane. Lovely ball, but it's well dealt with. Only manages to fall to a blue shirt. Really well done there from UCT. Knocking it around here for Ismail. Charging forward. She's got an educated left boot, does the left back. Just trying to get in behind once again. Use their space. But Nkambule deals with that one. And the throw in here for UCT. As we wait for this throw in. Just trying to get the ball into a dangerous space. They need more players inside that 18-yard area. Asking for the penalty, they'll get absolutely nothing. Going forward. Just trying to find the space. The space isn't there. This is a good position. Lovely 1-2. Also just trying to find the space. Of course, TUT trying to work their way back into this game. Unfortunately, haven't been able to. There's still plenty of football to be played. As Mohale looks for Poshoko. Into the middle of the park. Lovely football here at the moment. trying to feed that wonders Njolo, but only managing to find the midfield of UCT. Good touch. Njolo feeds it into the 18-yard area and can't quite bring that one under control. Knocking on the door of an equalizer at the moment or TUT, but they just can't get into the house. The defenses of UCT looking really strong. Good touch. Lovely through ball, and has she found a bit of space? Unfortunately, Mutlogelwa that time round couldn't quite squeeze through the gap, but as I mentioned, knocking on the door of an equalizer. The YouTube chat seems to be confident that TUT can pull off a comeback in this game. UCT have become stronger this season and have really progressed. Indeed, they have. A couple of weeks ago, they were sitting 13th on the log. They find themselves at 8th. And after a victory today, or a possible victory today, they could find themselves climbing up the log even more in the coming weeks. Of course, UCT, with just the 6 games to go, TUT still have 8. And that's a lovely ball. But unfortunately, once again, Tsogofatso Motlagelwa unable to get onto the end of that one. But she's making really good runs into a good zone. And she's creating some real trouble for the defenses of Nina Vorman and Robin Kutsia at the back there for UCT. Ball into the middle of the park. It's a little bit loose. TUT using their strength at the moment. Ismail stays nice and strong. Senyatse just unable to beat the left back of Ismail on the far side. Showing their strength are these ladies at the moment. Ismail keeps it in play nicely. Allows TUT an opportunity to go forward. Senyat in a good position here, driving forward. Needs to get it into an even better position. What can they do here? Takes on the shot and just pushes it out wide there. Does Palisa Ntolo that time round. They want that equalizer. They've looked the better of the two sides in the second half. But unfortunately, just unable to break through the defenses. We like what we're seeing at the moment here. Well, a substitution being made. I'll get confirmation of that substitution in a little bit. The Hollywoodbets Super League 2025. UCT up against TUT. 1-0 is the score if you've just joined us. A solo goal there from Alvina Nwanso Eno is the only thing separating these two sides at the moment. UCT sitting 8th on the log at the moment. TUT sitting 4th, but all of that can change at the end of this game should the score remain like this. Well, substitutions are being made there. It looks like number 13, Kaylin Jordan, makes her way onto the park for number 16. As we get back to the action, we'll have a goal kick for number 16, Sonika Mzingeli, who hasn't had too much action in this game. And number 3, Genevieve Jafta, might have made her way off the park. We'll get confirmation of those two. As we can see now, Posoka loses out there. It's really good defense there from UCT once again. It looks like Serenity Warner, who's doing some good work in the middle of the field here, the number 20 for UCT at the moment. Needs to get the ball into a good position. Trying to go for that far post, but that's not going to beat Tando Sitole. Unfortunately, they're going to need a little bit more quality than that. As we enter the last 25 minutes of this game, ball in hand for Ismail at the moment. If UCT can keep a clean sheet, they get themselves 3 points out of this encounter. And boy, have they played well. There's a lovely 1-2. Ismail tries to get it into a sticky situation. Oh! Goodness gracious. What a strike. Unfortunately, doesn't make its way into the back of the net. It's Nwanso Eno who scored a goal already in this game. Tries to make it 2. Unfortunately unable to, off the top of the upright and back down into the hands of Tando Sitole. TUT trying to get themselves back into the game. It's a well-threaded ball there. There's confirmation of the score. UCT find themselves 1-0 in the lead. Could have so easily been 2-0 through that shot through Alvina. Trying to get in behind. It's a foot race now to the ball. Warner. Just unable to get onto the end of that one. Duane manages to play the 1-2 as Klesi. Serenity Warner. Linking up in the middle of the park nicely, or UCT at the moment. Brushes past the defender. Referee might have been able to play advantage. They'll want to get this into a good position, slowing the game down here. More than happy to let time run here, or UCT. Into a dangerous position. Opportunity once again now for Warner. Finds Ismail. Hops past the defender, uses her strength. Lovely ball into a bit of space. This is an opportunity now, and Ndo does really well just to clear her lines. Plays in there with Mohale. Really physical at the moment here for UCT. And that's exactly what they need to win the physical battles. You can see their captain, Sibongi Lindwane, just taking the hit there from Ismail. Klesi into the middle of the park. Lovely touches. Ndwane thought about the long ball. She does this time round. Offsides is the call. It looked like she had retreated into a much better position. But unfortunately, Mutlagelwa just wasn't in the right place at the right time. "22 minutes left in this game. Into a dangerous area, flicks it on. And once again, the physical battles being won here from UCT. Just asserting their dominance on this game at the moment, slowing it down. They want to play at their own pace here. Upfield it goes. Trying to get it the wrong side of Vorman. Wasn't quite able to. Down the line. Good touch. Still plenty of time to get a goal. Possibly get a draw. Even better if they can get a win. Of course, UCT in the driver's seat at the moment. As it stands, they'll get themselves 3 points. And there'll be a caution here on the far side. It was a really good run. Had to do what she had to do. Took the player without the ball. And UCT in a fantastic position here. If they can get it into the right spaces. Just being attended to. It was a thumping challenge there on the left-hand side. It's going to be important now as some of the fresh legs start to make their way onto the field. The impact players, the substitutions, will be looking to add some value to this game. Well, a break in play just gives the players an opportunity just to regroup. UCT, of course, in the driver's seat. They've committed some numbers forward. You can see the captain, Robin Kutsia, right at the edge of the box, trying to make a nuisance of herself inside that 18 area. On the left boot, in swinger. It's not going to bother the keeper. Deals with it really well. There does Tando Sitole, who proceeds to boot it upfield and unfortunately couldn't quite keep that one in the field of play. Could Mamukhase Senyatsi. Well, you wouldn't think that the 8th placed team in the league at the moment is 1-0 up here on KOPANO. They've been nice and strong in this game. They've taken the opportunities. They've created opportunities. But it only takes one opportunity to separate the two sides and possibly get themselves 3 points. As UCT going forward now, they need a few numbers. Good composure, but they lose out on possession. They want to go forward now. Just running out of space on that far side. Tries to go long with the throw-in, retains possession. They've got to find a way to get back into this game to TUT. UCT will be more than happy just to sit on possession. However, a second goal will make this game even sweeter here for the home side. It's a party here in Cape Town. Beautiful weather. And a foul being given against the home side this time. They want to get on with it here, TUT. Upfield it goes. It's back with UCT at the moment. The battle of the two universities, one from the north up against one from the south. It's the south that finds themselves in the better of the two positions, but it's not over till it's over. Charging down that left-hand channel. Good 1-2. Gets into a good position. Vorman just managing to keep that one out. And they've played so well, have Nina Vorman and Robin Kutsia in the middle of the back line, as we see another substitution being made this time round. As I mentioned, the fresh legs will play a part. And as we spoke about Robin Kutsia, you can see the skipper there making her way off the park. She took a big hit a little bit early on in this game. And hopefully it's nothing too serious. It's not often you see your captain making their way off the park. As we get things back underway. UCT trying to go forward. They've been dispossessed, and now TUT. Lovely 1-2. And in an offside position. She did look like she was just a little bit ahead of the pack. Of course, we've seen it more and more often. The referees just holding on to their whistle, allowing play to play out if they think it's offside, and more than happy to call it back if the assistant referee thinks it's offside. And for UCT, Erin Isaacs makes her way onto the park, and of course it is Robin Kutsia, the skipper, who makes her way off. There's a really good opportunity, just whistling over the top of the goals. Big boot there from Williams. Williams looking for her 6th clean sheet of the competition. Might not get it here if TUT can keep themselves in this game and hunt for that draw in the last 14 minutes. Goes upfield. Ismail has a look. Lovely ball. Good 1-2 to bring that one down. And now, once again, Jacobs trying to drive forward. She hasn't had too much action in this game. Warner gets it in field. Possibly a little bit of a miscommunication. Serenity Warner was on her bike that time round. And Swa Enoa just couldn't get that one to the feet of Warner as TUT try and get themselves back into this game. Lovely touch. Just trying to find a way around the defences, and a foul given there by the referee. And it's a foul in a really good position. TUT can commit some numbers forward here. Get some numbers into the box. And hopefully some quality onto the end of this one. Well, it's going to be Mutlagelwa on to the end of this one. Plenty of players on the far post. Mutlagelwa gets it in. Doesn't quite manage to steer that in the direction of the goals. And a goal kick will be all that TUT manage out of that one. Still plenty of time to get themselves back into this game. TUT just have to play with some patience and use their opportunities. Brought down nicely. Lovely 1-2. They just allowing the ball to do the talking at the moment. As they look to go forward. Boshoka into a dangerous area, but it's well read there from Jessica Williams, who allows it to come down. Gathers it with good confidence. Out onto the right-hand side, just switching the angle of attack. Lovely work, allows the ball to do the talking, and now Mutlagelwa puts it into an interesting area, but Williams does well. There were strikers making their way to the far post to try and get that easy tap in. But there's never an easy tap in when you've got an ever so present goalkeeper like Jessica Williams inside the goal box, protecting her net. Well, substitution being made here once again. The fresh legs making their way onto the park, looking to spice up proceedings. Plenty of strikers up high. Mutlagelwa trying to attack the box once again. They'll get themselves a corner. And now an opportunity to commit some players forward. Substitution there for TUT. Takanyane, the number 10, makes her way onto the park for Mpho Kadimeng. As ball goes into the box and gets a touch. Gets the equalizer. Can you believe it? So late in this game. TUT have done it so often. An absolutely brilliant corner finds its way to the back of the poles. And a lovely tap-in. Brilliant work by the side that find themselves in 4th position. It was said in the YouTube chat, TUT have a way of getting themselves back into the game. And that's exactly what they've done that time round. I'll get confirmation of the goal scorer in a little bit, but absolutely brilliant work on that far post. And TUT all of a sudden get themselves back into the game. And who will it be? UCT, who have had the lead in this game for so long, will be looking for all three points. But in saying that, TUT, who have now got themselves back into the game, absolutely brilliant comeback to get themselves back into this game here. TUT have been fighting so hard. They've stayed in this game for as long as possible. Even when the going got hard, they didn't give up. And that's exactly what they needed to do. And now they find themselves 1-1 in this encounter. And of course, not just 1-1. 10 more minutes left to play in this game, and absolutely anything can happen. As UCT look to go forward once again. In a good position. They've got space just above the defense here. Well, the goal scorer looked like Senyatse, who adds to her tally for the season. She does it so often for her side, does the left winger. Well, as we enter the end of this game, which one of these two sides will be able to take the 3 points, or will they have to share the spoils in this game? Corner now for UCT. They've committed 6 jerseys into the 18-yard area. What can they do here? It's going to be a big in-swinger. Can they bother the keeper? It's a lovely ball into the far post, onto the head. And UCT have managed to get themselves in front. Absolutely brilliant work here from the home side. They've used the set piece like an absolute charm. Gets it onto the far post. And a brilliant header to get it past Thando Sithole late on in this game. And just when we thought TUT had brought the magic, it's UCT who find themselves 2 goals to 1 in the clear. Well, what a game we've got on our hands here. UCT going ahead in this game with a goal through Alvina Nwanswa Eno. TUT managing to equalize through Senyati. And now, late on in the game, with only 5 minutes of ordinary time to play, UCT managed to steal one back from the set play. And now TUT back to square one. Find themselves chasing in this game once again. They worked so hard to get that first goal. And unfortunately, the clock just working against them at the moment. They don't have too much time to try and get into the UCT area. Just 3.5 minutes to be played in this game. Can UCT hold on to this 1-goal lead? Or can TUT do it again? They're more than happy to slow things down at the moment, are the home side. Shot from distance. Just goes over the top that time round. It was a really good strike. It's a goal kick here. And the score remains at 2-1. Gets that one onto the boot. Good challenge in the air. Substitution was made in the meantime. And it looks like for UCT, Znesi Norris makes her way onto the park and takes off goal scorer Nwanso Eno, who did so well to get her side in the lead of this game. Getting the first goal of the game, getting UCT up front. And now TUT trying to fight their way back into the game. Just unable to control it. It's still in play, says the referee and the referee's assistant. As TUT now in possession. Makes herself big there, does Vorman. Just using physicality once again to try and get themselves out of trouble. They want to play inside the TUT half, and that's exactly what they're going to try and do. Using their speed, but brilliant defensive work at the back there from Mohale. One minute of normal time to be played in this game. 2-1 is the score here. UCT managing to get themselves ahead, and it looks like the 3 points is theirs at the moment. Of course, never say never in this game of ours. Balisa Ntolo there, just taking a shot to the head. Ismail throws it into space, just having a look for Nabila Khalant. Vorman puts that one out, but they'll be happy with that. They'll be looking at the assistant referee, the fourth official, trying to see how much time is going to be added on in this game, hoping that it's absolutely minimal. Mohale tries to get it into a good area, only manages to find a UCT player. Khalant goes back to Ismail. All the way back to Williams. Clearing her lines that time round into the middle of the park. As we end the normal 90 minutes, we enter stoppage time. Anything can happen in the late parts of this game. Can UCT claim all 3 points, or will it be TUT that come back once again in this game? Up it goes into the middle of the park. Can they have one more hurrah here? Lovely touch. Serenity Warner just giving up on that one, but have a look at this for a brilliant position. Just outside the 18-yard area, nice and straight. We've seen set pieces being the order of the day. Can someone put this one away? Talia Smith looks interested. Distance is good. Four-man wall set up. Here we go. Has a strike, tries to go underneath. She'll have a second opportunity. It's a foot race to the ball, but this time round, Tando Sitole making herself nice and quick, gets to the ball and boots it upfield, and that's all she wrote. A glorious 90 minutes of football as UCT managed to clinch victory. Just when TUT thought they had a late equalizer in this game, UCT used their home ground advantage and took back the lead in this game. An absolutely brilliant game between these two sides. 2-1 in the Hollywoodbets Super League between UCT and TUT as 8th plays 4th. 8th managing to take all 3 points in this game. And that creates a really interesting league going forward. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Manny Sakhali. It's been an absolute pleasure. See you next time right here at the Hollywoodbets Super League.